morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Happy Fun Friday. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am so excited to be here. I am your host, Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, and I host another show called Soul Seekers TV with my bestie, Linda Cross-Barnett, and I host another sort of an event circle thing called Goddess Gatherings Long Island with my other bestie, Marissa Wagenberg. And personally, I'm an intuitive coach and energy healer, and I help people release old patterns through, whoa, I can't speak this morning yet. I don't think I've had enough coffee. I help people release old patterns through coaching and energy work, and together we create new and aligned steps towards personal and professional success. I don't know if it's success. Success is kind of, it's so, I don't know, subjective, right? So it's really, I find that what I really help people find is peace and happiness in their life, some type of fulfillment. Because happiness, success, fulfillment, these are all words that we use, and you have your own meaning for those words, which is why when I help people with their Me First plan, right? We start with the GPS word because it's really important that you figure out what your individual words are. What are the words that trigger you to feel the feeling that you want to feel, whatever it is that you want to capture in your life. For some people, it's peace. That really resonates with me as a good word. For other people, it is success, right? And they have a very specific image of what they feel success is. For some people, it is feeling accomplished, right? And that also has a different connotation depending on the person, depending on, your own personal journey. And so one of the things that I really love to do with people is like break down what is the word, what is the feeling, what is the, and it doesn't have to be one word, it can be a sentence. What is that thing that encompasses everything that you want in your life, And for some people, it's freedom. Right? The ability to feel free to make choices, free to do what you need to do and what fulfills you, free to not feel trapped by, society or responsibilities or whatever that might be for you. So, what I like to do here on Me First Mornings, aside from encouraging you to find your own GPS word and create your day your way, which is the purpose of this, is I take you through a little ritual that I do myself with you, and it involves some breathing, it involves some intention setting, and it involves pulling a card. And this is sort of my little morning routine, and it also involves the daily ABCs. So we will be talking about that today, but it is Fun Friday, so we're not doing too much talking, or I guess I'm going to be talking the whole time, but it won't be lesson type of talking today. It's going to be a little bit more casual. So we're going to get started, and the first thing that we need to do is set our sacred space, okay? So how I set my sacred space is I light a candle. This candle's been going for a while. Let's see here. The smell is nice, actually. It's a juniper, sagebrush, pine, and cedar. I think I have a new candle coming. Say hello if you're here. And if you're watching the replay, just say #replay. Okay, so my candle is on, and the whole purpose of the candle really is to get you focused. It's to set the sacred space and also to sort of acknowledge the beginning of this ritual. So let's put that down. Hi, Mom. Yes, I'm feeling better today. I had a migraine yesterday. Well, if you watched my show yesterday, I did have a headache when I started in the morning, and it did get worse and turned into a full-blown migraine, which was not fun. So I stayed, on the couch and in bed for most of the day. But I am feeling better. Still a little foggy. Probably something to do with the weather and some weird nor'easter that's coming. I don't even know. I don't look at the weather. I just look outside and say, okay, it's a nice day. Awesome. Or not. Okay, so, and we'll talk about why I'm celebrating love today. My mom knows, and if you know me, you know why I'm celebrating today. Okay, so let's begin with taking a deep breath. Okay, so, first let's do some essential oils. And I'm going to continue with the headache support, which is lavender and peppermint, because that helps me. Also, eucalyptus is good if you have a headache. I don't have my eucalyptus oil with me right now, but usually I will use peppermint, lavender, and eucalyptus. And I just kind of put it along my forehead so that I can, take in the scent, the smell, and the back of my neck. Whew. And smell my hands. Let's just adjust that. Sometimes the tips of my hair. It's just so that you can smell it. And, in this case, because we're going to do deep breathing exercises, it's a great opportunity for me to really open up everything and any sort of constriction happening in my body. I'm hoping that the peppermint and the lavender will be able to sort of open me up to, releasing any pressure that my head might still be feeling. And I have my coffee and I have my essential oils, and if it continues, I will be taking some medicine. Okay, so let's take our deep breaths. I have my crystal spheres. Just, you don't have to have anything in your hands. I like to say it because if you're new, I don't want you to feel like, oh, you need special tools. All you need is yourself. All you need is your intention and that beautiful soul and spirit within you, and you can do this. So let's take some deep breaths together. We're going to do 3, and every time you breathe in, I want you to imagine just breathing in all the love and light and positive energy that the planet has to offer. Everything is at your fingertips. Healing is at your fingertips. And you breathe in that beautiful healing light, and you imagine that it spreads throughout all of your body and just permeates every single cell and breaks up any stagnant energy, sort of like a wake-up call, like, hey guys, wake up, wake up, wake up. So that's what your breath is doing to your cells, right? It's waking everything up. And then when you breathe out, I want you to imagine that anything that doesn't serve you, kind of like when you shake things off, that's all coming out, okay? So let's do that together. Deep breath in and hold for 5 seconds. And breathe out. Once again, breathe in. And imagine all of that love and healing light and beauty and goodness that the universe has offered us, that it is permeating every single one of your cells and waking things up, saying good morning. You hold that breath and then release anything that's stuck. Okay, and once again, take a deep breath in. We'll hold for 5 seconds and breathe out again. Beautiful. And as we breathe out, stretch. For me, it'll be my head because it is still hurting. Yes, Claude, it's so good to breathe deep in the morning. It's important. I feel like it's that wake up for your lungs, the wake up for your cells. It's like, good morning, body. Here we are beginning. And same with the stretches, right? The stretches are good for your physical body to, you feel so good. I'm not one to stretch, but let me tell you, the older I get, the more I need to stretch. Oh, that feels good. I hope it feels good for you. And now once you're done stretching, shake it out. Shake it out so you can feel your body just sort of loosening up. If you have bracelets, you can shake it and make a dance. All right, so we've done some deep breathing. We did some shaking. We did some stretching. And now we're going to say our prayer and set our intention. Now, as I normally say, if you don't feel that this prayer represents you or your beliefs, that's okay. You can just quietly say your own prayer, or you can just set your intentions for the morning, what you would like to see happen today or how it is that you want to feel, and that intention will be put out into the world. In the meantime, I will say this for us. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that do not serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us to raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Oh, it feels so good. And so I'm going to pull a card for the collective. And if you're watching and you want me to pull a card for you, please let me know. In the meantime, I will tell you, I only have my Enchanted Map card. I guess those are the ones we're pulling today. I usually like to use different cards today, but I moved my other deck from there to use it for myself because I happen to use my deck on my own as well. It's true. And I pulled a great card for myself yesterday that literally told me that I need to clean my, my energetic field. And when I looked at the message, it was like, if you have decluttering to do it. And I was like, really? Thank you, Spirit Guides, for telling me I need to declutter, which I already know I need more decluttering. Actually, the question that I asked when the answer was decluttering was, what is my headache here to tell me? And it was here to tell me that I need to work. You just do what you can. Carl! Oh my goodness! Hi! I'm so glad you're here. I will absolutely pull a card for you. Okay, let's do for the collective. So I was saying, as I'm kind of just shuffling these cards right now, I wanted to say that I'm celebrating love today because it is my wedding anniversary with my husband today. We have been together for 17 years, and today is our 16th wedding anniversary. We met April 11th in 2004, and were married April 16th, 2005, exactly a year and 5 days after we met. Yes, it was quick. Yes, it was love. And yes, 16 years of marriage later, 3 kids, an apartment and 2 houses later, it's still awesome. He's still my best friend, and I would choose no one else to do this ride with. And even after, him suffering from COVID last year and really being put through the paces in terms of support and, really needing to be there to support each other in many ways over this pandemic, it just tells me that I made the right choice all those years ago, and I am super, super grateful that I was led to him. Carl, yes, you would remember. Oh my goodness. Okay, oh my goodness. Okay, we got lots of people. Thank you, thank you. I accept your happy anniversary blessings today. Sound, good morning. All right, so I think we're ready to pull the card for the collective. All right, here's our collective card, number 44, an awesome angel number 44, and it's strength. You see that? You see how she's like holding up the world, right? It's amazing. So I think what I feel is that, we need to tap into our collective strength. And I really believe that during this transformational period that we are all going through, between, all of sort of the structures in our life kind of falling apart and, coming apart at the seams, societal structures that we are, seeing that painfully are not working for, humanity. And those things need to kind of crumble down around us, that we need to remember that we are strong and we can get through this. And I truly believe, especially, this symbol of her holding the world, that we all have to be strong together and we all need to unite in this, fight to find our collective peace, right? And we need to support each other and help each other because, if we are not there to support each other, we're not really supporting ourselves either, right? We have to begin with ourselves. We have to support ourselves. And then we need to be there and be strong for those around us who may not have their own strength at the moment, right? Like we got to fill the gaps, right? One of the things that I've been talking to my kids about is something that was shared with me by my friend Marissa. And she, I think, got it from someone else. And it was something called see a need, fill a need, right? So I'm trying to teach my kids, like if you see something like there's a dish on the table, like take it and put it in the sink or fill the dishwasher, or whatever you see happening, that you see there's a need for you, and especially if it's in your zone of genius, then you have to stand up and show up and be there. So we need to use our gifts, and we need to light the way for ourselves and for those in our life, for those in our circle, for those in our community. We need to be the light, right? So connect with yourself in whatever way you know how, in order for you to be strong and steady and a solid foundation for yourself and for those around you. And then you can also support others. So that's sort of what I feel about that card today. Okay, so Carl, you're going to be first. All right, let's pull you a card. So this is for Carl. Let's see what the angels want to tell you today. Dun-dun-dun. Ooh, that peppermint's kicking in. I'm feeling a little tingly. That's so good. Feels good, feels good. Oh my God, Carl is one of the most amazing singers that I have had the pleasure of knowing and working with. He's amazing. All right, here we go. And one more. Feeling one more for you, bud. Okay, I love this card. So it's a number 50. So I don't know if the number 50 is significant for you in some way, but the card is the compass. And what I'm feeling from this is that you have a very strong internal compass, like you know where you need to go. You are really intuitive, and maybe you've been having doubts about, a path that you're on or something that's going on in your life. And so here it is. Your instincts are absolutely correct. And if you just take some time, if you're feeling any sort of wobbliness, right? If you're feeling some hesitation or doubt, all you need to do, and I know that you're a really spiritual person, right? So what you need to do is really just connect with yourself and know that you have the answers that you seek. You know exactly what to do, and you need to trust your true north, because it will never lead you astray. No matter what is going on and no matter what is happening in terms of, what other people might be telling you as far as what the best thing is for you to do, you know inside what really is the best thing for you to do. You have this, when you are in alignment with yourself, when you are feeling truly connected to yourself and spirit, you know what to do. There is no hesitation there at all. And that's where you need to get to. And if there is hesitation and if there is resistance, that's okay. You can have that. Just take some time to kind of like find your clarity. I think that's the thing too, is like, reconnect with that clarity that you have, because there's so many things and so much noise happening around us between social media and, especially with social media and news and all the other things that are thrown at us every single day. It's easy to get, either distracted or just overwhelmed with the abundance of information of what the right thing to do is in any given situation. I mean, all you have to do is look at somebody's like crowdsourcing post, on Facebook, and you say like, looking for an opinion. And there's like 3,000 opinions that people have about many, many different things. And in our own personal lives, sometimes we do that crowdsourcing as well, where we reach out to friends and family and people that we trust. And although that's good, because sometimes we need to have, our own opinions and our own thoughts reflected back to us, we also need to understand that we can take in all of the information, but really at the end of the day, you're going to have to connect with your instinct and with your internal compass and figure out, okay, this feels really aligned with what I want to do, and this is where I need to go. So don't doubt that instinct. Just, you know exactly what to do. I hope that helps. It's so nice to have you on here. I'm so excited. Thank you, Rashid. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Claude. Thanks, Mom. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. 16 on the 16th. 16 on the 16th. Oh, yeah. It's our champagne wedding anniversary. I didn't even think about that. Nice. Thanks, Lena, for pointing that out. You're so welcome, Carl. I'm so glad you were here. This was such a nice surprise. Well, I was speaking to Greg Schiff yesterday. You know, Greg was my old roommate, but we all met at the Triad in New York City. So I just wanted to let you know. I'm sure that if he knew I was talking to you today, he would say hello. So I'm just going to go ahead and say hi for him to you. All right. So, Lynn, you want me to channel Jew and pull a card. Okay. Okay, so what's the message that Juliana needs to hear today? Let's see. Okay, so here is Juliana's card, number 29. May or may not be significant for her. And oh, I will return the hi to him too. Okay, so here we go, Juliana. Coming to life. So, you know, there may be a point, and, you know, it may or may not be connected to the pandemic, but it feels like almost that there's an awakening for her, where it's like, you know, maybe she was feeling down and lost and really just kind of feeling the heaviness and weight of potentially everything that's been going on and not really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that this card is an acknowledgement that things are changing for her, that things are going to start to look up, and she's going to start to feel more hopeful, right? So just like the spring season, where, you know, during the winter everything is dormant and there's all sorts of stuff going on beneath the surface, this card is like, you know, she is having an awakening herself, where, you know, she's starting to feel a little bit more like herself, where she's starting to see hope and possibilities. And I don't know if she has a new venture coming up, but I suspect that it really is like sort of a personal spiritual experience where she's starting to feel a little bit more lit up. And if she isn't feeling that right now, that's what's coming for her. That she's sort of like coming to life, like the spring trees, you know, everything's budding and all the birds are chirping and they're finding their mates. And she right now is sort of shaking off the winter, shaking off the heaviness of the last few months, and she's sort of entering into a more hopeful and encouraging time in her life. And hopefully, you know, that also means that you guys are going to be getting together sooner than later, because that's what I hope for all of us. But I see this, you know, and I look at this as the support that she's getting. This is sort of like the divine support, and she's sort of able to see this light, and she's holding the light in her hand. So she's like, yes, I can see it now. It's there, it's lit. And she's, you know, feeling sprouting. She's sprouting. That's what it's like the word that's coming to me, like where it's really like she's, you know, the awakening aspect. And it could be that she's feeling also more connected to the planet, more connected to, you know, and I feel like what would be good for her is if she could take some walks in nature. If she isn't already doing that, that might be a way for her to also continue connecting, because I do feel like it will help support her in that awakening process, in feeling connected, in feeling hopeful. So I hope that helps for her. There it is, coming to life. And this is from the Enchanted Map deck from Colette Baron Reed. I love this Oracle deck. It's really fun. Okay. Anyone else want a card? I think I have time for one more. Let's see here. I'm going to shuffle. I'm gonna shuffle. She does. She does. She does take walks. Okay, I was like, she doesn't. She does take walks. Good. It is really good for her spirit, for her to be walking and, like hiking or walking, or to be around trees, to be around nature as much as possible. And I mean, that's just a good rule of thumb for anyone. Like if you're feeling disconnected at all, if you're feeling, kind of sad or depressed or, whatever, anxious. I mean, in this pandemic, I don't know who's not feeling all of those things, because that's certainly, is kind of where things have been ebbing and flowing, right? Like feeling good, right? And it's like, okay, you're hopeful. And then all of a sudden, like you get like hit with a ton of bricks. So this is about, when you're feeling that, you should definitely try and, just be outside. Like I don't go for a ton of walks just because, it hasn't happened lately, but I will sit in my backyard and I will watch the birds on the trees, and it's enough for me to feel connected. Sometimes I'll put my feet in the grass and just feel like the dirt beneath my feet. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, Mom, I think you're last, so I will pull your card now and let's see what you need to hear. What do you need to hear? I don't know. I'll try not to. Gotta get my own ego out of this. Not that I have any say in what cards come up. Let's see what the cards are telling me today. And one more. Hello! Good morning! That's good morning to Linda. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So, interesting card that I pulled for you, Mom. Number 7, here we go. It came upside down, right? But it's into the unknown. And I think I've pulled this card for you before, and I came upside down. So it's a protection card. And basically it's, this is about, and what I believe it is that, you're in a place of, you're trying to make the best decision for you. I happen to know that, that's what you're actually kind of trying to figure out, what's the best thing for you to do. And it feels, daunting, right? You like to be clear on where you're headed. You like to be clear on what path is ahead of you and what's the right choice. You may not actually get confirmation of what the right choice is right away, right? And so you can wait. You can wait until you feel clear or connected to whatever answer, okay? You don't need to rush, because there is a lot of unknown happening right now in your life. And, just trust that you are being guided, trust that you are being protected, and that whatever it is that you choose to do is going to be the right thing for you, regardless of whether or not you have a clear picture of what the right choice is, because you may not get like a guarantee, right? You may not get this is the best thing for you to do. You got to do this and this. You may not get like something that feels as clear as that from the outside, but you are going to feel connected on the inside. You're going to, you need to do some inner work here. You need to kind of bring some quiet into your life. And I know that's hard sometimes. And really make peace with based on what you know, because that's the thing too, right? A lot of the unknown is because like there's things that we just don't know the answers to. We just don't know where things are headed because we don't have a map, right? We don't have a map to the challenges that might be coming, that we might be facing. And there may be things that even if it's not a challenge, it's just not clear which is the right path to take. So knowing that you may not ever really know, you have to make your decision based on the information that you have now and the best thing for you based on the information that you have now and based on what seems to be the path of least resistance, right? And this is something that Abraham Hicks talks about a lot, right? And a path of least resistance isn't I'm going to do nothing and just wait for things to come to me, because that's not exactly how it works. But the path of least resistance is, well, I want to do this, but, this is feeling very, like this is the path that is coming easier, right? So whenever you're making a decision, maybe something shows up for you. Now, the key here is you need to decide when you're deciding on which path you're going to, you have to kind of check in with yourself and see if the path of least resistance is connecting with an old limiting belief, and that's why it feels so easy, or if the path of least resistance is, heading into the direction that you really want to go, which, then connects, and that's why I use the GPS word, right? Whatever your GPS word is, you got to think, okay, this is my priority. If your GPS word is peace, and your priority in life is to achieve that level of peace, where you are not worried about anything, where you feel fully guided and protected, then your decision should connect with whatever makes you feel the most peace. And when you make a decision like that and you are in full alignment, and that's your word, it's like, I feel the most peace if this is the way things go. And this seems to be the possibility that I can create in my life, then you go with that one, because then that's the universe saying, here you go, you want peace, here is the peace that I'm offering you. The other card that came up is rock bottom. And this is not to scare you, because I know you're like, what does that mean? What does rock bottom mean? But very often, rock bottom is that place where we get to, where we're like, I have no idea what to do. I am, it's the place where we get to where we just need to surrender. It's like everything seems lost, everything seems disconnected, when you really have no idea what to do next. Sometimes that's the rock bottom that we need, is to be like, oh, I have no choice but to just surrender, my life to a higher power, because I really don't know what to do. I really have no solution for this, because sometimes our human brains just can't come up with the solution. And sometimes it's not supposed to come up with the solution. We're supposed to receive the solution. We're supposed to be guided towards the solution, right? Inspired towards a solution, not try to figure it out with our ego brain, right? It's not a math problem, right? It is a spiritual problem. And in order to resolve a spiritual issue, you need to connect with spirit so that you can be guided in the way that you need to go to feel most connected with your spirit self, right? With your higher self. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Linda, if you're still here, I'll pull a card for you if you want. And then that will be my last card. My mom was going to be last, but, Linda showed up, so I can't, I can pull a card for you. I will pull a card for you, Linda, because I think it'll be fun. So here we go. Mom, you can call me. We can talk about this. Anyone else, if you guys need, more cards pulled, if you want a session with me, if you want to do a me first session where it's actually a GPS word session. If you want to do that with me, I have a special going on right now. The link is in the bio. In the description. Feel free to connect with me there. And if you connect through the link in the description, you get a special price that does not exist outside of Me First Morning. So there you go. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to pull this for you, Linda. And if you're not listening, that's okay. I will tell you later when I talk to you. But I feel like I'm going to pull something that applies. All right, here we go. Look at that spark. Number 34, okay? And the card is spark. And it came upside down. So I think, what I'm feeling for you is that you sort of need to reconnect with that spark. And maybe it's been tough. Maybe there's stuff going on that you feel a little heaviness about, and you're not quite sure, how to reconnect with that fun part of you. And how can you not? And this goes for anybody. How can it not be difficult to connect with, the fun, exciting part of life these days when it just seems like we keep getting bombarded with, terrible news and between the pandemic and what's been going on with everybody and trying to deal with online school and, everything that we are dealing with right now, it's really hard to I'm going to, connect with the fun part of me, I mean, it's nice and we should, and that certainly is helpful, but sometimes that's really hard, right? It's really, really hard. It's like, there's a fire on this candle, right? But if I was to start stacking books or my phone or things on top of this, eventually the oxygen would be removed from, the candle and it would just go out. And then how can you light it when you have all of these things on top of the candle? You can't. You have to remove the things that are on top of the candle first in order for then you to light the candle and reignite it. And I think that that's part of what this is. There are things going on in your life that make it really hard for you to connect with that spark because they're weighing you down. It's like on top and on top and on top. And it's not that you have to solve every single problem that's on top of this, spark of yours. It's just that you have to kind of start, embracing the things that are there. And, maybe you take it off the candle, but you put it in your back pocket and say, I'll deal with that when I'm able to. Right now, there's nothing I can do about that situation. Right. And then you find another weight on top of the candle and you look and you say, hey, I can handle this. I can do something about this. Let me shift, my perspective on this, and that will make it sort of dissipate and that heaviness will go away. And you go through each thing in your life as best as you can, taking a look at the things that are weighing on you and see whatever you cannot do anything about, it's an opportunity to surrender it. Or as, mine and Linda's mentor, Maru Yabicella, who's a friend of ours now as well, she always used to say you uprender it. So instead of surrendering it, which feels like giving up, right? You uprender, you give it to God, you give it to spirit, you give it to your spirit team, and you just say I don't know what to do with this. I don't have the answer for this. Can you just take this off my plate, figure it out, and then bring it back to me when there's a solution, bring it back to me with hints and breadcrumbs of how to solve this problem. And until then, you get it off your plate. You're I can't do anything about that, so I'm just going to leave that alone right now. And that's the best thing that we can do. So that way, the things that we can take care of, the things that are within our control, whether it's perspective or, things that we need to take action on, the daily ABCs, right? A is avoidance. So if there's something there that's piling up, that's hiding your spark, maybe there's something that you're avoiding that you really don't want to deal with, but that it would be in your best interest to do that because it would alleviate this weight. So that's the first thing, is take care of that A, take care of what you're avoiding. Then the next thing is B, right? Which is your body. Connect with your body. See how your body's feeling about these things, right? And connecting with your body is really important to connect with your spark. You need to kind of feel into your body, right? And the spark is in the solar plexus, right? It's right here. It's right where all the magic happens, where, all the creation happens. And, whether you're a woman or a mom or not, that's the space where things are created, in your body as a human being. So you got to kind of connect with that and see what's brewing, what brings me joy, what do I need to kind of do to get me out of this, right? And then C is create, right? Which once you connect with your body, once you're connecting with your solar plexus and you're really connecting with that power of creation that is your God-given gift, then create something that will spark your joy. Create something that makes you feel good, that brings you back to that place, that energetic place where you feel connected to yourself and spirit and God. So that's my message for you all today. I will be back next Monday. I will be here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. for my Me First mornings. I really hope you join me next week. Have a lovely weekend. Love you all. Bye.